Hello. The sun isn't quite down yet and I'm outside, so I want to walk you around the garden a little bit if I may. We had our first night last night where it was actually below freezing. Just a little bit below. It was like, negative a half or something if you're talking Celsius, and it was like 30 or 31 in Fahrenheit. So it's neat to look around and see what's still green. A lot of things never go all the way dormant, and it always surprises me which those are. This tree's fully dark orange. This tree's fully light orange. The black walnut that's right here was blazing yellow yesterday, but today it's dropped all its leaves. And the sumac are either red, scorched, or green. Like there's a full range of different colors involved there. Still got echinacea, but they are starting to also show fall color. Little leaf catnip. I also have big leaf catnip that's still green. The elderberry's pretty well without leaves almost, but this is an ash tree, a young ash tree. Well, a coppiced ash tree. So that's still keeping a lot of leaves right there. The second showing of milkweed is still green, but a lot of the milkweed from earlier, it's an airplane going by. It's already behind the tree. Oh, it's a helicopter. So those newer ones are still green. Stinging nettle, autumn blaze sedum, osier dogwood, sage. The birds did great outside. They still seem pretty comfortable. Nobody's laying eggs yet. This one usually stays green throughout the winter. That is I forget, sweet magnolia. Pretty sure that's the variety name. That's the southern native one with little white flowers and little cucumber shaped things. The birds are doing real good, aren't you, friends? You always are, though, huh? Except when you're not. Still getting calendula flowers. As you can see, that one bright orange flower there. I picked about 8 raspberries, and considering that the leaves are still getting eaten off time and again, I think that was pretty good. A lot of the bulbs still have everything above ground. I want to put a great big swath of that pine chips that are producing so many inky caps right there. I think that'd be great. Yeah, so these will keep fruiting for a while. I do need to dig these up and pot them. I have to do that with a bunch of things in here, but these are all little red buds, and there's pots with a variety of different seed starts as well. I think that's the thing I struggle with the most, is the process of like pulling things out of the ground to make them available, especially when I know I don't really have a customer base. I harvested a bunch of beans, but they did get some frost damage on their leaves. I don't think they're dead though, because the stems are all still fine. They might not set any more flowers because it'll get cold, but yeah, they're still growing. This is the Hearty Kiwi, actually. So no, it's the Hearty Kiwi that's still growing, and I need to trim that branch. The hazelnut, the low growing little bit is still green, but everything higher is a pretty like yellow orange color. And that elderberry back there gets eaten by the deer, which is wild, but okay. Sweet potato vines got hit kind of hard, but the blackberry's doing amazing. The ground cherry got hit kind of hard, but it's still got fruit, and it probably will continue to do so. And it kind of looks like the sorghum's still doing well. Gravity pulled one down. These stay green really late. Most of the rest of the fruit trees, that's my plum, most of the rest of the fruit trees drop their leaves kind of early. One of the sorghum heads fell off. It had an issue with aphids that caused it to do 3 heads off of one stalk. The apples that lost their leaves are re-leafing out now. These tomatoes have been dead for a while. This tomato just got hit last night, and up until then was definitely still producing, and might even still. This is my guerrilla gardening tomato that I've offered a lot of you seeds on. I haven't gotten anybody's address except Wild Edibles yet. Look at the fuzzy bugs. Those are fuzzy bugs on there, huh? This is a rootstock apple. I think it's an M2. As you can see, the sunchoke is probably about ready to start harvesting, and I think I'll put a lot of quail poo in there because they like high nitrogen. If you can give it to them, they don't mind getting scorched here and there. And then I'll do my big ferment, and it's like a big ferment, and then you soak them in vinegar, a lot of times with spices, and they end up real good. But they look so gross after you soak them in vinegar or after you ferment them, that you'll be glad you soaked them in vinegar. The ferns are starting to turn colors. These are supposed to be a winter hardy kale. I got them from Experimental Food Network. It's Homesteaders Rainbow Kale. I only got green out of it. They were supposed to be reds and stuff, which would be very interesting to me, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they do through the winter. Because they got chewed up during summer, but it would be great to see how they do during the winter. Psst! Patient farmer. Hint, hint. And you can see that although this did not leaf out until late August, it's still leafed out now. It's gotten eaten a little bit, but that is the persimmon. And this apple, which lost all its leaves earlier and has apple scab on the apples, it's also leafing back out, and I think I need, when I dig down in the aviary, I want to lay a lot of that down here, because that's said to help kill off apple scabs, so that, because the nitrogen heats it up and kind of kills the fungal stuff. There's still a decent amount of rhubarb. And the Miyoga ginger. Next year, I want to divide this out and plant it a lot of places. And try tasting the root. I had a couple of little flowers off of it, and they were really quite delicious. But I'd really like to know what the roots are like. You can see that frost did kind of hit it a little bit hard. Yeah, So that's what's going on here in the main garden at the cliffside. If I were to go down the cliff, you would not see nearly as much fall impact because the solar gain of a south-facing slope means that area is warmer than up here. I do also wish to go around with some water and give a nice drink to all those plants that I put in as a fall planting. Since it's chilly, they don't need near as much water as a spring planting, but that doesn't mean that it's a positive thing that I had to plant them in fall. It's mostly downsides. Really hoping that everything does okay. I hope you're having a really good day. That cricket sound is the birds. Thank you so much for visiting the cliffside and all of the fall color happening here. Whoops, bonk. Still dealing with trying to get the construction stuff into the trash slowly. But yeah, this fall color is pretty cool. Don't mind my messes. There's a lot of messes. But aren't there always? That's nothing new. Thank you, cliffhangers. Hope you enjoyed this little fall tour. Oh, the grape still has leaves too. Where is it? Right there. All right. Take care.